Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over how I replace fuel lines on string trimmers. This applies to most weed whackers, some chainsaws, leaf blowers, tillers, anything where the fuel lines go through the gas tank. There's the style where it's a U shape that mounts on the bottom. Some will have a top-mounted tank. That's the style I'll be working on today. There's also a style with a rubber grommet in the tank. It's a similar principle for those. Make sure you get a grommet kit if you have that type. The kit will come with the grommet and the fuel lines. Now on the fuel lines, there are different sizes, so you have to pay attention to the inner and the outer diameter. The most common inner diameter is probably 1/8 inch, but there's also some that are 3/32. For outer diameter, most of these will have two lines. One will be thick and the other will be thin. I recommend just getting a kit with multiple sizes. Make sure you look at the reviews before ordering. The fuel line should be stretchy and flexible. If any of the reviews say the line isn't flexible, don't buy them. There's a ton of junk fuel lines out there. If you don't want to worry about that, get the Tygon brand. They're the Chad level brand, but their line will be more expensive. Sometimes there will be two different colored lines. The colors don't matter, it just makes identifying the lines easier. There's also this black PVC style hose. I don't really like this, it's just not as flexible as the Tygon hose. So if I can, I just replace this with the yellow Tygon style hose. If you can, removing the fuel tank will make it easier to install the new line. On some engines this isn't easy. If it looks like it's going to be difficult to remove the tank, just leave it in place. For this one it was easier to pull the tank and the carburetor off as one whole assembly. So you have to figure out what's going to work for your specific engine. You may want to take pictures or draw a diagram of where all the fuel lines go. Now if your lines aren't that bad, you can remove them with this tool that I showed how to make in a previous video. On this example, the lines were deteriorated so bad they were fused in place, so I had to break them or cut them off. Here I've laid out all the pieces of the old lines, so I can use them as templates to get the length for the new ones. I'd recommend going a little bit longer than what I'm doing here. One of these did end up being too short. Go 2 or 3 inches longer than the original line. You can always cut it shorter, but you can't make it longer. Then, the sections of the line that we're going to be feeding through the tank, I cut at an angle. Make this cut at least 1 inch or so long. The lines are a tight fit in the tank. The line itself is what creates the seal and keeps it from leaking. This angle cut is going to make it easier for us to feed the line through the tank. I also add some oil to the line to act as a lube. The oil's not going to hurt anything. These are 2-cycle engines, so there's oil mixed in with the gasoline anyway. Usually you have 2 holes in the tank. The thinner hole is for the inlet line, so this is what will connect to the fuel filter. The thicker hole is for the return line. The return line just needs to stick up 1 inch or so in the tank. Sometimes there'll be a fitting on the end of this hose in the tank. It's basically just there to keep the hose from being pulled out. Usually I just leave that out. Sometimes there will be a third hole for an external tank vent. On this other engine, the vent breather just gets tucked up under a shroud. On the inside of the tank, the line should also only stick up 1 inch or so. We'll start with the inlet line. To get the new line through the hole, I'll stick the angle cut portion into the hole from the bottom. Then we'll use a pair of forceps to grab onto the line through the fuel filler opening. Forceps are like small needle nose pliers, but with a locking mechanism. You can find them in the fishing section. Then we can just pull the line through. This end of the line is going to connect to the fuel filter. For the fuel filters, I usually try to clean out the old one. You can spray carb cleaner through it and it will flush it out. This is a little bit easier if you leave a short section of the old line attached. Then you can put the sprayer nozzle inside of the line and it's easier to blow it through. Before attaching the filter, we want to cut off that angled part and square off the end. A lot of times the filter is tough to get attached. If you're having trouble, you can heat up the end of the line. Now don't go crazy here and melt it, just warm it up a little bit. Also, you can put a drop of oil on the filter fitting. This line needs to be long enough in the tank that the filter can slide around. It needs to be able to reach all four corners of the tank. On a string trimmer that could be operated at multiple angles, gravity should always move the filter to the lowest part of the tank. That's why the filter is kind of heavy. Now we can move on to the return line. This is going to be the thicker line. It's the same procedure here. Cut it at an angle, add some lube, feed it through the hole from the outside. Then you can grab onto it with the forceps and pull it through. The return line only has to stick through about 1 inch. Make sure you pull it past that angle cut part so it makes a good seal on the tank. Now we can reconnect our fuel lines. This is where taking a picture of the hose routing beforehand can be helpful. We know the thinner line is our fuel inlet, so this needs to go to the inlet fitting on the carb. Usually the inlet fitting is on the main body of the carb. Now for the return line, this particular engine has an external primer bulb. The primer bulb will have 2 ports, a long one and a short one. The shorter connection is the suction side. This connects to the carb and sucks the fuel through the carb. The longer one is the pressure side. This is what pushes fuel back into the tank. So we'll connect our return line from the tank to the longer connection on the primer. And then we'll connect the primer fitting on the carb to the short fitting on the primer bulb. Now if you get the fittings on the carb reversed, the primer will try to suck fuel backwards through the needle valve, which won't work. I don't know if that can damage anything, but if you go to press the primer and the bulb isn't bouncing back, you might have them hooked up wrong. If you have the style where the primer bulb is built into the carb, the return line should go from the tank to the fitting on the carb that's closest to the primer bulb. So now we have our new fuel lines installed and we can put everything back together. After replacing the lines, you'll have to push the primer bulb multiple times to get the fuel flowing. So if you normally press the bulb 6 times before starting, don't start counting until you see fuel in the bulb. I also wanted to mention some of the kits come with this wire hook tool. You're supposed to hook it on the end of the fuel line and then use it to pull the line through the tank. I haven't had any luck with those. Maybe they'd work better on larger lines. So that's how I do it. I'm sure there are other ways. Let me know in the comments if there are any other tips or tricks that I missed. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my small engine playlist for more repair videos. See you later. Bye.